Hey everybody, welcome to Mammoth Interactive's YouTube channel. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this video. And remember that this channel doesn't do Patreon. Instead, we sell our digital courses down below. And every single dollar that we get from the products you buy below goes into making more content. The best way to help out this channel and Mammoth Interactive is to subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. Get thousands of hours and hundreds of courses for a low price down below. We have a monthly option and a yearly option. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the video.
Okay, we're going to be building a few modern low poly houses. It's going to be quite simple. I'm just going to start off by deleting our lights and cameras here. Select those and click X to delete. After that, we're just going to go ahead and turn on our snap mode. Simply click on the little magnet right here, or you can just turn it on by clicking Shift and Tab, and it'll turn on and off. That's the hotkey for it. Next up, let's just move our cube above our grid. I'm just going to move this upwards. I'm going to click on Shift, Control, Alt, and C, and we're going to set our origin down to the 3D cursor, which is currently set to 0 and 0 on our grid down here, X and Y axes, as you can see. And with that, our center of gravity, or our origin, is down on the bottom of our cube. Makes it easier for us to just scale upwards or from this point on. Anyways, I'm going to make the sort of base of our house here. I'm thinking of a sort of square, or actually rectangular shape. I'm just going to go ahead and scale this on the x-axis slightly by like 1 grid size. Actually, no, I'm going to undo this. I'm going to go into orthographic mode by clicking 5, and I'm going to go into top view by clicking 7. And let's go again, scale on the x-axis. I'm just going to scale this up to this 1 additional grid. And let's make this rectangular. I'm just going to go scale on the y-axis by 2 grids right here. And there you go, we have a perfect rectangle. And with that, let's go ahead and maybe shape of the, I'm thinking of a doorway or something right in the center. I'm going to go ahead and go into edit mode by clicking tab and click Control R. I'm going to add in an edge loop right in the center. Just double click it to confirm it, and it will just set down over here. With this done, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go into Control Tab. We're going to go face mode. I'm going to select the side face right here, and click X to delete face. Hold Shift, click, delete face. I'm going to go into object mode by clicking Tab. I'm going to drag out our menu on the side here. I'm going to go and click on Add Modifier. The Add Mirror modifier right here. Let's turn on y-axis of X, turn on clipping, and there you go. You can just work on one side without having to worry about the other side right here. I'm going to go ahead and just simply add in an edge loop now. Maybe scroll twice, 3 times, maybe a little bit more. Actually, no, I'll decrease it to like 3 or something. 3 edge loops right here. Double click it, and we apply our edges, the loops right here. I'm gonna add in 1 edge loop over here, maybe raise it up slightly. This is going to be our sort of center doorway for our bottom section. I'm just gonna go ahead and click on the face. We're gonna extrude this inwards, about like this far in. That seems pretty good. And delete these bottom faces because you won't see those. And it just makes it easier and cleaner to look at. And as you can see right here, we have a sort of simple base doorway right here. And I'm thinking of maybe adding some stairs in. Actually, you know what? This kind of looks a little bit too close, well, too open. I don't really like the double door size of things. Let's maybe just grab this section, maybe move this, slide it in a little bit. Hold on to Shift so it does like incremental sort of movements instead of like huge jumps like so. Anyways, sort of shrunk down the doors a little bit. Seems better. Gonna create a new scale, square outside over here. I'm gonna add in sort of stairs in the front here. Let's go create new cube. I'm gonna do the same thing with this. Put it up above the grid. Shift Control Alt C. Set origin to 3D cursor. Smooth this down. Say about this much. I'm gonna scale this guy down so that fits the doorway. Let's go into the front view. I'm gonna click on 3. Click on Z for wireframe. So it's a little bit easier to match things up here. Just gonna scale this guy up a little bit. Hold on to Shift so we do a more precise scaling job. Let's see. There's still a little part over here that is kind of missing. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I rather have it slightly more perfect than it is right now. You know what, I guess this is the best we can do. You can either click on Scale, Control Shift, do like even smaller increments than it was doing before. And yeah, you know what, can't really see it from far away. That's good enough for me. I'm gonna move this square just slightly outwards a little bit. Let's go into the top view, wireframe. I'm gonna slightly shove it to the side over here, and let's go ahead. I'm going to add in some edge loops. Control R. I'm gonna add them to the sides here. Scroll a few times, like this much or so. It doesn't have to be this many loops right here. You can add more if you want. I'm just gonna make it like so. Let's go shrink this guy down. I'm gonna go into object mode, scale this on the Z-axis down to say like this much or so. I go to side view, check out how big each step would be. I'll make it like one grid, this small grid right here. Scale this up a little bit, match it to that. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay. Next up, let's go ahead, grab these faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to the side, extrude upwards. I'm gonna deselect this piece, go to the side again, click 1, extrude upwards, and so on and so forth. Oop. Deselect that. Let's go into the side, extrude upwards. It's about like this height. There you go. Now we don't have to use the rest of those steps right here. We can just leave this like so. If you think this is a little bit too outwards, you can maybe press it in, compress it in on the x-axis a little bit, and just press it back in here. There we go. We have our front steps to our house right here. Maybe these are a little bit too high. I'm just gonna scale these down, make them a little bit thinner than before. Let's check it out. Yeah, it seems pretty good. There's some small steps for our midsection, or the base section, not midsection of our house. And yeah, we can just use this as the basic, base for our house, and we can stack additional details on top of it. But for now, let's take a short break. Come back to this later. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, now with our base of the house completed, well, not really completed, it's just basics of the base completed, we're gonna do some additional detailing to it and make it look a lot nicer. Right now, as you can see, all our edges, or our corners of our house are really sharp. They're just a singular edge, as you can see right here. And if you sort of revolve to the side a little bit, it kind of just blends in because all the lights are just hitting this one sort of surface right here. And it's doesn't really look that good. Now to fix that, all you have to do is just simply add in some bevels into this. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna maybe delete these extra edges here that we don't need anymore. Dissolve edges right here, and I'm just gonna select all these edges. I'm gonna click on Control B, and just gonna hold on to Shift and slightly drag out some of these points right here. And as you can see, it adds in these extra edges right here, or just creates an extra edge to make it less sharp, and gives it a nice sort of curvature to the sort of structure right here. Now we just deselect, click A, and you'll see that it has this nice smoothness to it. Jump out into object mode, and if we revolve around, you can see that our doorway is no longer one flat sort of surface right here. The light doesn't really just stick to that one that surface, and it kind of bounces off these sort of edges here. It just gives it a nice look. And yeah, that's quite simple to do. Let's go ahead and sort of shape up our house now. Now, I don't really like having just a perfect symmetrical type of building right here. I'm going to slightly reduce some sections. I'm going to apply our mirror modifier on our base right here so that we can, slightly just move things around. I'm going to grab vertexes. Let's go to wireframe. Just select, click B, select, drag select these sections right here. I'm gonna just move these guys in closer to our door area right here, and I am going to sort of add in a sort of a second story base, a little buffer area here. Let's go ahead and create a new cube. I'm just gonna move this upwards, like this far up, so it's on the grid. Shift Control Alt C again. I'm going to click on Origin to 3D Cursor, and I'm just going to move this guy up here. Let's scale this guy up. Actually, no, I'm scaling him down first, and we are going to scale on the x-axis. And I'm just going to simply go into edit mode, drag the face out, maybe like right to the edges right here. Check things out. There you go. We have sort of this floor buffer that we can use. In fact, since we have this buffer right here, we can actually just take out the top faces here because we won't be able to see them, and it just saves a lot more faces for our Blender to work. It just makes it so that the scene is lighter, but we can do that later. That's like kind of more final detailing, last minute bits of work to do kind of stuff. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to create sort of a window here. We're still continuing on with our sort of base section here. I'm going to actually grab this piece right here and just duplicate it, Shift D, and I'm going to move this, say about like here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go Shift Control Alt C. We're going to set geometry center mass, origin center mass of our piece right here. And I'm just going to scale this down on the x-axis, thin this down. And I'm going to place this right over about here. Actually, no. I'm going to make our lives easier. I'm going to move this to the second layer here. Let's move into the second layer. I'm going to put this guy right into the center. Let's just drag it down to about here. Going to set these settings, well, the origin to the bottom of this piece again. Shift Control Alt C to 3D Cursor. I'm going to scale this guy upwards, about like this much. Let's go ahead. Go to edit mode, Control R, add in the center, delete these faces, and we're going to mirror this piece right here. Mirror modifier, y-axis, turn on clipping. Going to go ahead, simply add in an edge loop down the center right here. I'm going to click on face, this face. Actually, I can click on this face first. I'm going to click on eye to sort of shrink in it's sort of extruding inwards over here, and we're going to repeat the same action so we get the same size over here. Just click over here, Shift R, and repeat the previous action that we've done. And grab these two faces here. We're going to extrude them inwards, maybe like this far or so. Yeah, seems pretty good. We can use this as our windows. If you feel like this piece is a little bit too thick, we can just go into object mode, scale this on the x-axis, thin this down, and it seems pretty good. I'm gonna go to the top view, let's move this to the side here, up front of the x-axis right here. Gonna set the settings of the origin back to the cursor so it's behind here. It makes it easier for us to place this piece onto our wall later on. I'm just gonna go Shift Control Alt C to 3D cursor right there, and there you go. We have a simple window right here. Just gonna move this back into the first layer. Just click on M, click on the first layer, go back in there, and you'll see that our window is right here, and it's a tad bit big. I'm just gonna scale this down. Click S, scale down, move this up, maybe about like here or so. And again, the problem with this piece is it's all too sharp and you can't really see any other surfaces. The lights don't really bounce off it. So all we have to do is just simply go into beveling and we just, add in bevels onto the sharp edges, creating points where our light can bounce off of. Let's go ahead and just simply double click A. I'm going to click Control B, hold on to Shift, and just slightly drag things out. Check it out. There you go. We have a smoother looking window now. If you sort of move around, you can see the edges or the sort of window sill areas, window bars, window sills. Yeah. Anyways, there you go. We have a fairly decent looking piece right here. And a little detail here, we're going to add in like a door. Right now it's just a simple sort of doorway. I'm thinking of adding like a additional wooden door right here. It can fit in there. Let's go ahead, grab these faces right here. I'm just gonna extrude this inwards. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna click I, scale this down a little bit, about like this far or so. Extrude in this much. Seems perfect. And I am just going to I'm going to duplicate this piece right here, and let's move this to the second layer so we can work on this sole piece right here. Let's select this, just these two faces right here. We're going to click on P. We're going to separate our selection, which is just this piece right here. So it makes it into two separate objects. So all I have to do now is just delete this the whole other piece right there, and we're left with just a door. And I am going to set this to the center. And let's go Shift Control Alt C to let's go center mask with this piece right here. I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna go into edit mode, grab the outside edges and extrude backwards, creating sort of a thickness of our door right here. You can grab onto these edges again. Actually, you know what? I don't even need the center sort of edge right here. Let's dissolve that edge. Grab the face, Control B, and we'll get sort of this nice bevel shape right there. And I can scale this on the Z-axis, slightly equalize the size and proportion. And there you go, a simple door that we can just throw in back into our first layer. Just gonna click M, first layer, click in, check it out. Let's drag this out a little bit. Yeah, there you go. That's sort of a little bit too perfectly sized onto this. Maybe shrink it down just a tiny little bit. Let's see. So it kind of fits in. It's not a perfect snug fit. I'm just gonna scale it a little bit so we get a tiny little gap here. Scale this upwards. Check it out. And yeah, there you go. We have our first floor. Simple, low poly sort of modern house base right here, and we're going to continue on with the second floor later on. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this course. If you want to watch the rest of the course, the link is down below. Not only do we get the access to this course, but you'll get access to a lot of other courses in a huge bundle, and it's on sale today. So buy before the sale ends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.